let's talk about some movies. So we watched a few, and my biggest takeaway from two of them is trying to figure out which one was more unbelievable and pissed me off the most. First up, we've got Tin and Tina. That is currently on Netflix. This is a Spanish film, and it is about a couple in the 80s who have a miscarriage. And this is very devastating. And she finds out some information, which leads them to make the choice to adopt. They were going to have twins. They lost the twins. So they went out and got some new twins.
Yeah.
I understand. I'm a father of twins. I like them twins. But I don't like these twins.
I don't like these twins either.
So Tin and Tina are our main antagonists. And they are little, like, Village of the Damned.
Yeah. Children of the Corn.
No, Village of the Damned.
Village of the Damned. Yeah, that's what you were saying. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. So they're like albino,
yeah, they are albino,
or something, but they don't have the eyes like an albino. So I'm not really sure
they have,
what
like,
the hell's wrong with.
Blonde eyelashes and like.
Yeah, they're like completely blonde everywhere, but they don't have like the lack of pigment in the eyeballs. So they're not albino. They're just super blonde.
Super blonde.
Pardon the dog interruption. It's just become a staple on the channel these days. Tin and Tina. Yep. The maybe albino. We don't know what the hell they are. Doesn't matter. The point is they get them from a
convent.
Yeah. And they instill upon them some religious values that they take a little to heart.
A little.
And so this is the horrors of indoctrination and obsessive cult-like behavior, living your entire life to the word of the Bible. Yeah. Like the Old Testament, fire and brimstone shit. So, okay. I'll speak for both of us on this and tell you that the reason that this movie does not work is because the movie asks way too much of you. This is something that we harp on this channel a lot. Like, I'm willing to suspend disbelief for horror movies or any movies, right? I go to see Marvel movies.
Yeah.
I go to see all sorts of shit. I suspend disbelief all the time. My belief is in constant suspension. But you do always need to try to keep things within the realm of plausibility.
A little bit, at least.
And the shit these parents are willing to look past.
It's too much.
There's no way.
Yeah.
You would be taking them back to the orphanage instantly. And they don't.
Yes.
And here's the thing. And we were talking about this while we were watching it. Like, you have to come up with legitimate reasons. Why? Like, okay, if you're going to ask us to suspend disbelief, you got to meet us halfway. And you got to say, okay, this may not seem believable to you, but I'm going to tell you why it should be believable to you. At least make an attempt at, making us believe. Have something in place that makes the characters' choices seem somewhat plausible because of whatever. They, I could come up with 10 things off the top of my head. Now, whether or not those are, whether or not you want to accept those things, at least they're trying. And
Yes.
with this movie, it's just like, they seem to be fairly regular people. And it just, there's things they do. There's the very first thing involves a pillowcase. And it's like, there's no way. You're taking him to a psychiatrist at least. And if you don't, you're just reckless. You're just a shitty parent.
Yes.
And you shouldn't have kids. Then something happens with an animal, and it's like, there's no way.
No.
There's no way. And lastly, the biggest gripe I have for this entire film, even maybe more, is this is the ultimate display of the thing that you and I hate, that a lot of people can't stand, and it's getting really tiresome. This is the ultimate husband doesn't believe you, or husband is like siding with the antagonist movie I've ever watched in my life, where you're like, come on, there's no way. You know, the Insidious or anything, or the husband's like, I don't know, man, sounds pretty great, dude.
This is like that worst. Times 100. And especially unbelievable considering like the setup to the relationship, I think, in the beginning. But like, as you were saying, there needs to be in-universe reasons for like why people are doing certain things, or why they wouldn't do an obvious thing, in order for like the viewer to understand and suspend the disbelief that they need to in order to enjoy the film. And this movie, like, we were talking afterwards, I thought that there's some really nice like cinematography. Like, it's a really well-made film. The acting, I thought, from everybody, I actually enjoyed. It's just the writing. It's just that the writing was, and it's not even bad writing, like in terms of like the dialogue and stuff. Like, that's not what's bad about it. It's the story and the character decisions that I think took both of us out of it the most. Because otherwise, I thought everything else was fine.
Yeah, the movie's also too long.
Yeah,
for what it is. It's a 2-hour film. You could easily have done this in 90 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's unnecessary. The ending really annoyed me as well. I called it maybe 10, 15 minutes before. Not because it's a twist. It's not really a twist.
It's just
kind of like annoyingly predictable in a way. Like, and when I say it's annoyingly predictable, I mean that it's like the lamest choice they could make.
It's the lamest, most obvious choice that they could make too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I was not a fan of the ending.
The ending is just kind of a total middle finger to me to any kind of like character decisions that make any sense.
And that's supposed to be, I mean, the ending is like part of the horror of it all, right? But it just didn't work for us, and definitely much longer than it needed to be.
It's not as egregious as Speak No Evil, but this to me was towing that line of like believability, where I'm just like, there's no way people are taking this, letting this happen. Because I can tell you right now, if these are the decisions they're making, they have no place having children.
Oh, so absolutely.
Like, if you want to establish that the universe that we're watching isn't supposed to make sense, if it's kind of like this either dreamlike world or, reality adjacent or something, but the movie plays it really straight.
Yes.
And so I'm always like, no, you have to, you have to stick within your own guidelines, right? You have to stick within the own universe you created. And it just the whole time, even though Tin and Tina are kind of otherworldly, they're not, but they seem it because they look fucking super weird and act super weird and are like overtly religious. It's just, God, you can't help but like when something happens, you go,
yes,
dude, nobody.
The whole time.
This is Speak No Evil. Again, it's that like, I don't give a shit what the message is. I don't care. You can't take an audience and expect them to believe nonsense. Like, no.
The whole time we were watching it, when those moments happened, we were both just like, no way. There's no way.
There's no way.
No way. Especially, like, there's one really big one that involves the animal that is just like, bro, what?
And they get over it so fast.
So fast.
They get over it so fast.
There's, like, no more discussion after the fact. It's super unbelievable. And
these kids are supposed to be 7.
Oh, yeah.
They're like 11 or 12.
They're definitely older.
And somehow I'm also supposed to believe they can physically overpower an adult with no fight back at all. It's like, come on, guys, I am willing to meet you halfway.
Sure.
You've got to try harder than that. So, yeah, not a recommendation in the slightest. I could get into spoilers, I just don't care. I was originally going to, but now I don't care. It's ludicrous.
It is.
It's a ludicrous film. So that's that.
That's that.
Anyways, moving on. Bye.
Bye.